Chunky cheese. Did I just say chunky cheese? I meant to say Chuck E. Cheese. But what does Chuck E. Cheese have anything to do with what we're talking about today? Absolutely nothing. Besides the fact that both of those words rhyme with, or I guess they both start with C, and that's kind of somewhat related to the topic we're talking about, which is chunking. Otherwise, forget about chunky cheese. Stop thinking about eating, and let's get right into why chunking is simply one of the best methods for you to learn any subject and achieve levels of mastery. Sounds like a big claim, doesn't it? Let's jump right into it. So, what on earth is chunking? Well, that is a very good question, my friend, and I'm glad you asked. Chunking is, well, let's start like this. A chunk is a network of neurons that are commonly fired together in the brain. What are neurons? Neurons are nerve cells, and they send information to the other parts of your body, in your brain, from one part to another, as well as to other parts of the body, and they receive signals from the nervous system. So, what on earth does that mean? Because for everyday folks like you and me, I feel like telling you about the science behind it is somewhat, well, I guess some people would appreciate that. But I think what's even more helpful right now is to talk about what it is. And the way I like to explain it is to think of it as the way you fire these neurons. The more you fire them, the more these neural pathways, the way it is connected with other neurons in the brain that are also commonly fired. Scratch that. Let me start over. Here's the main idea behind chunking. You want to chunk an idea, a skill set, because essentially what you are doing is breaking down. Well, when you have these chunks, you're able to execute the action or the thought or the behavior in an effective manner, because those neural pathways are very strong, as we said, and you build that by understanding or by creating meaning through these neurons or through these different parts. And then these, with repetition, these neural pathways become strengthened. So that somewhat explained the what, I hope. Now let's talk about why. Why do you want to do that? Well, if it isn't obvious enough, the reason you want to build these strong neural pathways between these neurons, in other words, you want to chunk ideas, chunk things apart, is because that's the way for you to execute things effectively. Take driving as an example. When you first started driving, there felt like a million things for you to take care of: the mirrors, the lights, the steering wheel, the gas pedal. But when you master these parts, when you get used to them, they become a chunk. It becomes automated. And now you don't have to exert conscious effort and willpower in thinking of every action, every detail of the act of driving. Does that make sense? And then the how. Well, you build this. we might save that for another part. But right now, let's just pause for a moment and let's see if we have any questions. And by us, I mean me, because I'm still trying to explain this to beat the timer. But the timer has already come. Therefore, it seems like that's my cue to go. I'm still learning to compact these messages or to deliver these messages in a very compact manner. But I don't know. There again, I'm sharing my doubt on camera, which is something you shouldn't do apparently. All right, but either way, I'm enjoying this, and more important than enjoying it is that are we learning and are we putting forth our best effort one day at a time? In essence, we are chunking our way to learn the craft. So enough about chunking. Let's go have some Chuck E. Cheese if you want. Or not. I don't think it's very healthy. See you later, Chunk.